Yep. Yep. So fuck off, bitch. Don't worry about it. I'm just talking shit. Damn. Like I'm talking like dudes in my head and shit, boy. They diagnosed me with schizophrenia and shit. Fuck wrong with you, boy? I ain't capping, boy. Like I got diagnosed with like 40 different shit and all that. Anyway, today I want to talk about another time like I pulled up on the ops. I guess y'all like that ignorant shit. So let me tell you about what happened. So it's some guy in my city. I think he like just moved out there or some shit because I never saw this nigga ever. And he used to come up to me on some delusional type shit. Like I just told you about mental illness. He was like kind of delusional. He would come up to me like some short nigga, boy, tattoos all over his face and all that shit. He'd come up to me and be like, "Hey, what's going on?" I'm like, I don't know, like shit, like everything that's not off or some shit. Like, and he like, "Hey man, I used to go to school with you." I'm like, "Man, I don't really remember you, bro." Like, I didn't even ask him what school, but he was like, "Man, I used to go to school with you." I think he's just talking shit or some shit. So I just let it go, and I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." And then I see this nigga like a couple days later. He say the same shit. He like, "Hey, what up, man? Remember we used to be in school and shit?" I'm like, I do not remember this nigga, boy. He's probably just trying to like get cool with me because I'm getting money or some shit. He trying to like freeload or some shit. I don't know. But this time, he take his hand and he try to shake my hand or some shit. So, you know, I'm nice. I just shake his hand and he try to shake up with me, like on some gang shit. I'm like, nigga, I don't even gang bang. Get that shit away from me. And he like, oh, we used to do this all the time. I'm like, nigga, I didn't go to school with you, bro. And that's the first time I told him, right? So I see him again like a month later. Sorry. And oh yeah, get your exercise, boy. You could be a grown-ass man and you could still ride a bike. Especially like black folks, boy. Y'all think like once y'all get to a certain age, y'all can't ride no bikes no more, boy. You can still ride bikes at any age. But let's get back to the story. So I see him like a month later, right? And this is when like I first start growing my dreads. Like these motherfuckers. Like I'm gonna show y'all a picture where like, it's crazy. Like my shit was purple and all that shit. So, I walk past his house and he talking to me like he know me. I just told him like, I don't know you and I don't go to school with you. This nigga on the porch, right? And this time I do got the pipe on me. But let me tell you something. I tell y'all niggas that you don't always gotta shoot a nigga. And I didn't shoot that nigga. Let me tell you something. So I'm walking past his house. I got purple hair. And this nigga brainwashed. He like, damn boy, we used to go to school and shit. You wasn't looking like that. You look gay as hell with that fucking hairstyle. I look at that nigga like, what? I'm like, nigga, you don't know me. Fuck wrong with you, boy. Don't be talking to me like that. You know what happened out here to people that be talking like that and shit? And he like, man, what you talking about? We used to go to school. I'm like, no, ain't none of that shit, boy. I walk right up to him on his porch, boy. I'm like, man, don't be saying no shit like that because shit be happening out here and somebody gonna pull up on your ass and you ain't gonna be around no more. And I'm like, I got it on me right now. And he like, shit, I got it too. It's in the house. I'm like, go get that shit then, bitch. What's wrong with you then? Do some shit. And as I'm talking to him, it's like a neighbor across the street. He called me and he like, hey, just leave that little nigga alone. He going through some shit right now. I think he was just like covering his ass. It's like, I don't know if he was going through shit. But when he called me at first across the street, I'm like, oh shit, I'm outnumbered. Like this nigga about to come over here and like, they gonna jump my ass or some shit. But he was just on some like, keep the peace type shit. He was like, just let that nigga live. I'm like, all right, I'll let him live. But I didn't. I mean, he didn't die, but I came back. So I take the pipe to like an abandoned apartment and I leave that bitch there because I don't need that shit. It's like a little small nigga anyway. And like, I'm not bullying him or no shit like that because let me tell you something. Anytime I had beef with like a small nigga, I would let that shit go because like they just too small. But two people told me something. Let me start with my sister. She said sometimes you gotta slap the shit out of these motherfuckers in wheelchairs because like they think just because they disabled, they could talk to you anyway. I started to think about that. And then like some nigga from the hood told me like, I mean, he's not a little kid if you fighting him. Like he looks small, but he's still a grown man. He can make decisions for himself. So you should fight somebody that's smaller than you. So I took both of those into consideration and I was like, well, I'm gonna pull up on him then. So I drop off the pipe, I loop around the neighborhood so it don't look suspicious, and then I come back. Now, I don't know if this nigga was on like PCP or some shit, but this nigga looked like, I don't know, he was standing in the middle of the street. Like, he wasn't around nobody, he wasn't talking to no girls, he wasn't on his phone, he wasn't filming shit. He was just standing in the middle of the street for no reason, boy. So I'm like, shit, I'm about to like beat his ass or some shit. So I come up to him, and he like, hey, what's up, what's up? So I go up to that nigga, I start beating his ass and like all type of shit, like I'm throwing him on the ground, cause he like a little small ass nigga, boy. I just balled his ass up real quick. And subconsciously, I'm like, I'm only gonna beat his ass for a little while, cause like I know like people be looking out the window, so I gotta get out of here. So you know, like, oh, don't be speeding off, boy, you make me paranoid. Remember that video I made where this guy sucker punched me and what I was about to say? Damn. Hold on, boy, cause that just threw me off, boy. Niggas speeding around here, they got souped up cars and shit. I don't like the stereotype, but that's how that shit be. And then they just shoot your ass. But damn, where was I? Oh, shit. Oh, I gotta get out that fight or some shit, cause the cops coming. Yeah, oh yeah. Remember that last video where like somebody sucker punched me and I banged his head against like the school bus window? I did the same thing to this nigga, cause like we was fighting and I don't know, like I was hitting him real hard, but this nigga was laughing the whole time, boy. I think he was just like, he wanted to cry, but he covered that shit up. You know how niggas be smiling, but they really sad. He was just smiling, so I started going harder. I hit him in the back of the head and shit. I'm like, I ain't gonna hit him too hard in the back of the head, cause I know like that shit can kill him, boy. I ain't trying to kill him, I'm just trying to teach him a lesson. Don't call me gay or no shit like that, boy. But so I banged his head on like his neighbor's car or some shit, on some WWE type shit, boy. He damn near bleeding and shit. And then I'm like, you know, I gotta get the fuck out of here, boy. Cause the cops would come through with some shit, like somebody could look out the window, so I run all the way to the crib and shit. And then I just stay there, boy. I'm like, I don't know if this nigga gonna snitch or not, but like, he shouldn't have said that little dumb shit, boy. I just beat his ass and shit. And I did some more shit to him, but like, let me see. Let me see how I can say this, cause like they didn't solve this crime. Let me see. I don't know if I'm probably not gonna say it. Give me like 15 seconds. I'm gonna see if I should say it or how I can say it. I like damn. Let's just say I pulled up on him or something like that, and like I just tortured this nigga. And like y'all talking about bullies, like I was on his ass every time I saw his ass. If he was at the bus stop, you know. If he was like walking down the street, you know. Like, I really wish I could tell you what I did, boy, but you know how it is, boy. But I'm just telling you, boy, watch what you say to people. Like, I know this is like an ignorant story, but the main point is, like, you never know what's gonna offend somebody, boy. Like, in a video, I say you can see some fine bitch walking past, and you could call that bitch beautiful, and she could get offended by that. Why? That's how she think. I don't know. But, like, that's not what I'm saying. Like, let's not even say like something positive, like negative shit. Like, don't be just saying all shit in the world, boy. You never know, boy. Like, man, let me tell you something. I saw this video on WorldStar. I was gonna make a separate video for this, but I saw the most gangster shit I ever seen in the world, boy. And I don't like to promote this shit, but like black people be slipping, boy. I'm telling y'all, cause like we be in groups and numbers and shit, and we think we invincible and we could kill everybody. Let me tell you something. So these guys was in a convenience store, right? And it's like a Mexican in there too, and there's like a lady behind the counter. And the black people, they like arguing with the lady or some shit, and then the lady started speaking in Spanish to this other Mexican. And the black dude come up, he like, y'all must be talking about us. Say that shit in English. And then the Mexican, he like, hey, please respect this lady or some shit like that, boy. And then the black guy like, man, what you gonna do? You ain't gonna do shit. We could go outside right now. And I didn't think this was gonna happen, because I probably thought the same thing they thought. Like, this Mexican guy didn't look like he was about that life. But he was, and I'm gonna tell you why. Cause like, the Mexican, like, he was like, okay, come outside. And I'm like, this guy just gonna get jumped by all these black folks. That's not what happened. As soon as they get outside, cause they follow him, they're like, oh, okay. They were shocked too, like, oh, we just gonna beat this nigga ass. They get outside, boy, you hear gunshots, boy. And then the guy that was screaming at the lady behind the counter, the black dude, he like, I'm shot. Like, you don't see the shit, but then like, the dude coming here on some movie type shit, he walking with one hand in the gun. He looking for his friends, boy, he about to shoot all of them. And I'm like, damn, this like some movie type shit, boy. And like, they scatter all through the store, boy. Like, one of his guys run behind the counter, he hide like in a freezer or some shit. And then like the other ones, they like duck behind the corner, and when he not looking, they run out. And Like, this nigga is just on charge, and then he go back out there, and then like 5 seconds later, you hear 2 more gunshots. I don't know if he shot nobody else, but like, and that shit was crazy, boy. I'm trying to tell you, like, you never know. You don't judge people, boy, because that Mexican didn't look like he was about that life, boy, but he was shooting everybody. And if y'all don't believe me, boy, I'm about to post like, I'm about to put that shit that I saw on World Star in the link in the description. I'm telling you, boy, that was the most gangster shit I ever seen in my life, boy. Like, I don't, that dude had to go to jail though, right? Because like, he gonna be attempted murder or some shit. Because I understand what he was doing, boy. Like, he was defending the lady, but like, it wasn't like he just went out there and shot all their ass, boy. And I'm trying to tell y'all, man, black people, boy, if you like, it's like 3-1, boy, you can still lose, boy, because you got a gun, right? But they make more guns. You don't got the only one, boy. Everybody else got a gun. So I'm trying to educate y'all, like, just be smooth out here, boy. Like I be saying, I be alone and shit. That's for a lot of reasons. Like, niggas goofy, they stupid, they be doing stupid shit, getting locked up. And, you know, I just prefer it that way, boy. Like, you know, I enjoy the sun or some shit, boy. Y'all niggas need pussy and, like, money and all this shit, man. Fuck that shit, boy. Because y'all niggas be hot. And let me tell you a quick little story, because this like going on 11 minutes. I'm going to tell you why niggas be hot out here. So I used to, like, sell drugs and shit, right? Y'all already know that. So one day, I'm, like, in the back of the car with my guys and shit. And these niggas drunk. They doing dumb shit. I got this shit on me, right? And, that nigga that be coming to my mama crib, and I tell that nigga I'm gonna slap the shit out of him when I was locked up. He be coming to my mama crib. This nigga did some dumb shit. Damn, shorty. Look at that. So this nigga, he get on top of the car, boy, and he like car surfing or some shit. Like, not really, he not standing on it, he just like laying there, and they driving around with this fat ass nigga like on the top of the hood or some shit, right? So I'm like, I'm trying to tell their ass, like, I got some shit on me, boy. Don't be doing this dumb shit. Like I got like ton of shit on me right now, boy. Y'all need to like get off the hood or some shit. I'm in the back of the car, boy. They pull us over, it's over with. Probably for all of us. Who knows? They gonna say it's all our shit or some shit. And then the nigga next to me, he like, man, you a bitch, boy. He didn't mean it like that. You know how niggas be. But he like, man, you a bitch. Give me all that weed that you got. I'll put it on me, and if we get caught, I'll go down. I'm a bitch, but this nigga's stupid. Fuck wrong with you, boy? I just got out the car, boy. I'm like, y'all niggas get locked up or some shit. I'm about to go sell the rest of these drugs, and y'all could, like, do that dumb shit, because, I don't know, man. Like, that's why if you commit a robbery, I'm not promoting this, but if you commit a robbery, just do that shit by yourself. Because, like, you're going to be in the interrogation room, and your friend going to tell everything. They going to say, you're going to get life in prison. They going to try to scare him, and he going to say everything, boy. You're going to be like, I need a lawyer. Because that shit ain't going to work on you. You know how it work. But your friend, though, he a little bitch-ass nigga, boy, and he gonna snitch on your ass. So, I don't know what I started with this video. Oh, I pulled up on the ops. Yeah, I beat his ass, boy. And I did some other shit I just can't talk about. But, all right.